So it is Monday. Aiden's schedule is all screwed up today because his ELA teacher, who is also his homeroom teacher, is not here, so he doesn't have those first two classes, and then his science teacher is out sick today, so he's only got he's got one class before lunch, and then after lunch he has his math class and social skills, and that's it for the day. So I'm just trying to go through emails and stuff right now and get whatever I can done before I have to start doing school stuff with him. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna do some movie updates, mini movie reviews like I like to do. So a couple weeks ago, actually, I think maybe the week before last, I have an ongoing list of movies that I want to see that aren't out yet on streaming or stuff like that. So I keep that on my phone so that on nights when we don't know what to watch, I'll go through and pick one of those. So I still haven't seen Beetlejuice. I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed in it, so I'm kind of afraid to watch it. My grandma watched it a couple nights ago and she said she didn't like it, so I don't know. The thing about it is that I hold dear to my heart the way that they used to do those types of movies with the puppets and the puppetry and stuff, and just old school Jim Henson and stuff like that. I loved the first Beetlejuice and how it was all the little shrunken head guy was not CGI. I know that it's different times now and everybody uses CGI, but I like the look of the old school, just using the puppets and stuff like that. So I kind of just don't want to be disappointed in that, because I'm already disappointed by the trailers and stuff. But anyway, I haven't seen that yet. A few weeks ago, we watched Longlegs, which was on my list of movies I had been wanting to see, and it was taking forever to come on. Well, it was on streaming, but it was taking forever to come down in price, because I'm not going to pay $20 to rent a movie if I don't like it. So it was finally, I think, $6.99 the other night on Fandango, so we rented it, and I really liked it. I was very surprised. I go into movies now not expecting anything because I've been so disappointed by so many lately, and I ended up really liking it. It was very I wouldn't classify it as a horror movie, although it did give me Silence of the Lambs type vibes, and it was a cross between Silence of the Lambs and Seven. It was more of a thriller type thing because it was very detective work and stuff like that. But I was surprised. I really freaking liked it. It was really good. Aside from how weird Nicolas Cage is, I don't really ever like his movies. I haven't seen many of them all the way through, but because he was only in it a fraction of the time, and he's just so weird in it. But yeah, it was really good. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked how it was tied up at the end, no what happens now and crap like that, and stupid makes you determine what you think happened at the end and stuff like that. It was very clean finish, good movie all around. I liked it. And of course there are tons of people online saying how shitty it was and it was such a stupid movie. That's why I don't listen to people's reviews of stuff, because most of the time movies that get crappy reviews are the ones that I like, and the ones that people hype up and say they're so awesome is the stuff I don't like. So that was Longlegs. And then I don't think I had talked about it, but a few weeks before we had watched that movie Cuckoo. They did really good marketing for that because it looked like it was going to be such a creepy movie, and I was so excited to see it. It was so dumb. The storyline was so stupid. The ending was so stupid. It was not scary in the least. From the trailer, it looked like it was going to be creepy as hell. It was not. It was so dumb. I wouldn't even bother watching it. If you were excited for it, forget it, because it was so dumb. So that was that. What else have we watched recently? Way back in August when Andrew came, the three of us watched that movie The Watchers. And that was okay, but then the ending of that one was stupid too. It was very predictable, very not. I feel like M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong has lost his touch with the twist endings, because I knew all along what was going on in that one. It was very anticlimactic, very predictable what was going to happen at the end of that movie. So I didn't really like that. And what was the other thing I was going to talk about that we watched recently? I already talked about Longlegs. A while ago, and Steven and I have seen this movie twice because we really liked it. There was a Netflix movie called The Platform, and it's dubbed over in English, so you don't have to use subtitles, but the voice acting isn't as great, so it's your choice if you want to watch it with subtitles or just listen to the English dub over. But it was a really good movie, and we had seen it when we lived at the old house, and then we watched it again when we moved here. It's basically about the first one anyway, because I didn't know there was a sequel, and it popped up on Netflix the other night, so we watched that. So that's what I wanted to talk about. But the first one, if you haven't seen it, it's really good. It's about like these people that basically go into, I guess you would call it like a program, and they're all on these different levels. There's like 2 people in each room, and there's a platform that starts at the top that's like got food all over it, and as it goes down, obviously the food depletes because everybody's eating it, and there's 333 levels, I think. So obviously nobody can figure out how to make it so that there's still food at the bottom level, and then everybody has to stay on their level for a month, and then they get gassed and they wake up and they're on a different level. So you can either end up at the top and have a good spot, or way at the bottom and then you starve all month. So it's like that, and it's like it goes through a whole bunch of stuff obviously through the movie. But then we saw that there was a second one, and I'm like, how did they make a second one? The second one wasn't as good. It kind of, at the end, you find out that it was all taking place, like it started right before and during the first movie, but it's just it's following different people. So it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first one. I liked the first one a lot. I thought it was good. And then I watched Terrifier 3 because it was, somebody uploaded it on YouTube. I doubt it's still there. You can probably find it if you keep looking for it. But I'm surprised that YouTube let it stay up as long as it did, because the Terrifier movies are basically just frigging gore. Like, they're stupid. I thought the very first time they introduced Art the Clown was in the movie All Hallows Eve, and I thought that one was pretty decent. And then the first Terrifier was okay. The second one had like the best gore scene I've ever seen in a horror movie, but it had such a stupid storyline. And then 3 is even stupider, and I don't think they topped that gore scene in the second one like they kept saying they did. So it's just yeah, I don't see it anymore. It was on here last night, and that's when I watched it, but Steven doesn't care about those, so he didn't want to watch that with me. But I just, it didn't really do much for me. I didn't enjoy it that much. There'd probably be something wrong with me if I did enjoy it. It's just, it's one of those movies that's just like, it's gore to be gory, and there's really no great plot line or storyline or anything to it. Hi, bud. You playing with your marble run? I can hear it going in there. So yeah, I think that's all the movies that I've watched lately. I watched them all with Steven except for that, the Terrifier 3. All the other ones I watched with him. This is my little shelf I set up in my office for my little nightmares stuff. So these, I guess these size things, these were from Temu, and there's like an actual set of all the characters from the first game that's like 200 and something bucks, that's sold on like video game collector sites and stuff. So these are just knockoffs that were like $5 a piece. And then I didn't expect this one to be so big, so he kind of doesn't go. This is Mono from the second game. And this is, whoa, this is Six. She's the main character from the first and the second game. And this is one of the little sausage gnomes, as I like to call them. But they look just like the real ones, and like I'm not that hardcore of a collector that I have to have the real ones. But I just, it's a bummer that they don't have all, I think there's 6 pieces altogether to collect, and they don't have the knockoffs of the other 4. Which are different characters from the game, like the bosses and stuff. But I've gone down this rabbit hole now of the Little Nightmares toys, and I'm so excited that the third game is coming out pretty soon. They kept saying that it was going to be in the fall this year, but then it got pushed back to 2025, so I'm just hoping we get it soon, because that is my favorite, probably... It's definitely my new favorite game franchise of all time, because I can't play many, let me turn this around so I'm not holding this up. I can't play many modern, recent video games anymore because of my motion sickness. Like, so many games, if they're not like a fixed camera scrolling type game, they just make me sick. I know, like, it sucks because I used to be a pretty big gamer and I loved playing games and stuff. I was a Sega kid, so, like, I grew up with Sega Genesis and Sega CD, Sega Saturn, all those. Started off with the Sega Master System, but, like, those were my favorite things. And then I went to PlayStation, and then... once like PlayStation 2 came out, I would say that was when I stopped playing games religiously, because they started getting way too like just the camera angles and stuff. It makes me sick, and I can't play for more than like 10 minutes before I start getting a headache, getting nauseous and everything. It sucks. And I've never tried like taking Dramamine or something beforehand, because people have suggested that. Maybe I should try that and see if it works. It's a bummer that there's so many I want to play and I can't. Like Outlast, that game series, I wanted to play that so bad because Steven is like not interested in horror games like that like I am, and I watched so many people playing it, like playthroughs and stuff, and I'm like, this looks so fun. And then I got the first one, I played it for like 10 minutes and was like ready to throw up because I couldn't do that, the camera angle and stuff. And first person like that is the worst because it makes me so sick. But yeah, he didn't want to play it, so I didn't get to experience it. Like, it's so weird because I can watch people play, but if I'm doing it, it makes me ill. And I saw a whole thing about how it's because some people get sick like that because your brain has a disconnect of you're seeing the stuff moving around, but your body isn't moving, so it thinks you've been poisoned or whatever. Which it makes total sense as to why you would get sick from that, because it's your body trying to like make yourself vomit in fight or flight mode. But yeah, it's just a bummer. I can't play much for games anymore, so the fact that Little Nightmares is just basically, it's not, I would call it like a side scroller, but you can go like, it's more 3D than that, but it doesn't make me sick because the camera is fixed and it's not wobbling all over the place whenever you move. It's just a great storyline, the first 2 games, and I can't wait to see what they do with the third one. There's all kinds of little like hidden Easter eggs and stuff that the more you play it, the more stuff you find in the games. So there's a whole Reddit about it. I've been find all little secret tidbits on there and stuff, so it's definitely my favorite current game. I should get it for the computer because we have the games for the Xbox and that's how I play them, but should get it for the computer so that I can like do playthroughs of them or something, because I would play them like 100 times over. I love those games. One more thing that I didn't mention, we did get a new fish. My uncle got it for him. It's a blue betta fish that he named Patrick, like he said he was going to do. And the LED rainbow lights in his room that he loves burnt out. Like, they finally crapped out. I don't remember how old they are. They might be like 2 years old at this point. They burnt out. And so I was going to get some more, and I went to peel these down, and it's ripping all the paint off the wall. Like, to the point I can't do anything about it, because it's like whoever painted the walls initially did not prep the wall correctly, because the paint is just flaking off. Like, it is not sticking to the wall whatsoever. It's like not even coming off in big chunks. It's just completely glued to the back of the sticky strip, which, had I known that, I would never have hung them up, because I don't want to deal with this right now. But also, I tested it, like the stickiness, when I first hung them up. Like, it tells you to clean the walls and everything and then hang them up. And I was like pulling it off a little bit to make sure it wasn't going to pull the paint off, and it didn't. So I guess just being on there for so long kind of sucked the paint onto it, and now I have that issue to deal with. So those are not going to end up, I'm not getting that same kind that sticks to the wall like that. I think I'm going to get one of those rope ones that you can put in whatever design you want on the wall, and then it's still an RGB color change in light and everything, because he uses that as his night light. So now we're kind of screwed. Okay, so I don't know if these flavors are new, because I didn't see these last year. But I talk all the time about how I am a carbonated drink person, but I am off of soda, like not drinking soda anymore. So the sparkling ice drinks have become one of my favorite things, because they are only 5 calories. They use sucralose instead of aspartame. I can't drink anything with aspartame because it triggers my migraines. So these are just my favorite drinks. And they came out with a holiday pack. And I haven't seen these in stores or anything yet. I got these off Amazon, and now, because I like them so much, I'm going to have to stock up on them, because they're only going to have them for the holiday season. But it's very rare that I like all 4 flavors in the variety packs, because like there's one that has orange mango, and I am not a fan of the orange mango, or maybe it's peach mango. I just don't like mango flavored stuff that much. So Steven usually drinks the 4 of those, or 3 of those that come in the pack, because it's usually a 12 pack with 4 flavors and 3 of each flavor. So anyway, the holiday pack, they're all so good. Ginger lime, which sounds weird, but this tastes just like ginger ale. So if you're a ginger ale fan, you will enjoy this. It's got like a bit of a limey flavor to it, but basically ginger ale. And then there's apple cider. I just took this one out of the fridge, so it's cold. Tastes just like sparkling apple cider. This one is so good. If you like any type of apple cider fall drinks, you will love this one. And then there is cranberry frost, another favorite of mine. This one reminds me a lot of, there's a picture of ginger on here, but I don't really get ginger when I drink it. This one reminds me a lot of I know they don't make Sierra Mist anymore, and it's called Starry now. So I don't think they make the cranberry Sierra Mist anymore, because I haven't seen that in years, but I used to love that every holiday season. And this reminds me a lot of that. So like a cranberry Sierra Mist type thing going on. And then winter punch. So this one is supposed to be pomegranate, raspberry, and orange, and this one is so good. It just tastes like a fizzy fruit punch type drink. But yeah, if you're a fizzy drink type person, and you can't stand like the flat flavored waters, I hate those, like vitamin water and all those type of things. I tried for so long to get used to drinking those. Will you stop? Look, he's playing with his spring toy. And half the time they have more sugar than this anyway. Like they have actual sugar and stuff in it. So I have been preferring these lately, and the fact that they have so many different flavors, which is awesome. But this holiday pack is chef's kiss. So I just wanted to suggest them. They are on Amazon. I know that for sure. I don't know if like Walmart and stuff is going to have them, because mine does not. Oh my goodness. He's having a blast back here. But yeah, I just wanted to mention those, because I was super excited that that all 4 of them are good. The other good thing about those drinks is that if you keep them in like a steel, the stainless steel type tumbler or cup or whatever, not only do they stay cold for the length of the day that you have it, but I've put them in here like at night, overnight before. Like if I don't finish my drink that I have on me, I'll put it in the fridge and it still has the fizz and carbonation in the morning. So I normally, I don't drink them like first thing in the morning because I don't want carbonated drinks first thing when I wake up. But if I have like this in the fridge overnight and then I have it with lunch, it's still fizzy, which amazed me the first time that I did that because I was like, oh, it's gonna be flat when I sip it. But it was fine. It is Halloween week. Today's the 28th. I need to dye my hair again because it's looking... It grows so fast that I feel like I have roots like right away. And it's that time of year where like my scalp is getting all itchy and dandruffy because it's getting cold outside. So every year at this time I try to find a good dandruff shampoo that like doesn't strip the color out of my hair, and I need to get a gentle one anyway because Aiden's got dandruff this year, so I need to find a good one. I'm at my wit's end with Aiden's math this year because you guys know math was my worst subject. I have never been good at it, and the different ways that they do things now, if it is not explained to me, I don't know what they're doing. And his teacher doesn't explain anything. She'll, at the beginning of class, show them like one problem from the multitude of stuff that they're doing for the day, doesn't really explain it that well, and then throws them in the program that they use to do like a 16-page thing. Like it'll have one problem on each page and they have to do it and go to the next one. And like she can see what they're doing and stuff, and all she'll do is tell them if it's right or wrong, doesn't explain how to do it if they got it wrong. So I'm like, I don't know how to figure this out. I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to, it's like ratios and stuff that they're doing right now, and I am not good at that. My brain just does not want to compute it. So I don't know how we did on his homework for today, but we tried. I don't like the way that they're doing it this year. Like I said, last year his teacher would go nice and slow. If some of them weren't getting it, she would spend more time on it, and she'd have like the whiteboard, like the digital whiteboard thing up to be doing it out and showing them how to do it. And this lady does not do that. I don't understand how she's a math teacher, and more importantly, how she's teaching special needs kids. Like there's several in his class this year. There usually is anyway, but I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna get through this year's math class because I'm already losing my mind. But what time is it right now? It feels like it's earlier than it is because he usually has math in the morning, but on Mondays he has it the last class of the day, and we just finished it. So I just realized when I sat down that I have had my damn heated blanket on my chair, and it's been turned on all day, and I haven't even been in here. I was like, ooh, the chair is nice and warm because I left the stupid thing on. So when Aiden got done with school today, I just straightened my hair. That's what I just got done doing because I have to do parent-teacher conference tomorrow. Like I said, I chose Wednesday because I didn't want to do it on Halloween. I'd rather focus on Halloween stuff on Halloween. But it's at 3:15, and I wish that this school would do, like, this school does them early like this because we don't have to go anywhere like we used to have to physically go to the school. So they get it done early, but I do wish they would do it at nighttime because then Steven could attend it with me. I didn't want him to like leave work early or anything because he already missed 2 days of work, not last week, the week before, because he pulled his damn back and he came home early one day. So technically 2.5 days that he missed. But I was like, I can just do it myself. It's a 15-minute thing with his homeroom teacher, so it's not like it's this big to do. I have this thing behind me because my office isn't necessarily a mess, but I blocked it off behind me because I had Aiden's parent-teacher conference just now. Only like 15 minutes this year, which they normally do like half-hour ones, but I guess they said there's so many middle schoolers that it's like taken 2 whole days because they don't have live classes tomorrow, which is pretty cool. On Halloween, they don't have live classes. But I'm sweating now. It's getting hot in here because it's warm today. It's supposed to be really warm tomorrow, which in a sense is kind of good because then he doesn't have to bundle up underneath his costume. But as usual, everything went well. I think I already explained it, but we only met with the homeroom teacher, who's also the ELA teacher, because everybody's homeroom teacher is who's doing the parent-teacher conferences. Again, because there's so many kids, all the teachers can't meet with you at once. But she's super nice, and the special needs teacher was in there too, like his main one. So they were both super nice. Could not say enough nice things about him. He's made a friend, which is awesome. Like, I already knew about it because he's not in his class, unfortunately. They're in different classes, but he's in his the check-in class that they do every day to make sure they got all their work done, and then the social skills group that's on Mondays, which they said at the end of last year they weren't doing that in 6th grade in middle school at all. And then I guess they changed their mind and decided to do a social skills group again, which is kind of like, it's just a handful of kids and they meet up and just like play games every week. So it's not that big of a deal, but this kid is so cute because he's always so excited to see Aiden, and then Aiden's excited to see him, and they say hi to each other every time they see each other. So his special needs teacher was very excited about that. She was like, I wish they were in the same class, but at least they see each other during this stuff. But yeah, there's really not much else to talk about. His ELA teacher was super impressed that, like, when he writes paragraphs, he remembers to do the tab, the indent at the beginning of paragraphs, because no one ever remembers to do that, apparently. And that was a big thing with his language arts teacher last year. I was like, that was Miss Bolivar. She had them practice that a lot last year. So, you got all around good comments. Not that I was expecting anything else. There's really nothing that they would say to change with him other than he doesn't, like, get on the microphone a lot. And he did it a lot more often last year. He was a lot more willing to read and stuff, but there's 2 kids in his class this year that, like, hog they immediately have their hand up to read and everything, and it's super annoying because he's not as quick with it. Like, you have to click on the little hand to raise your hand, and he's not as quick with it. And, like, most of the teachers don't pay attention to the fact that, like, his went up last or whatever. I don't know. It's just they tend to favor those 2 kids that don't shut up all the time. So, anyway, I'm starting to get a headache, and I'm not too happy about that because I've gone a bit without one, and I don't want another headache, but... Whoa. So I'm in the middle of doing my makeup, seeing as how we're going trick-or-treating tonight. I don't have anything to dress up with, so I'm just gonna do some dramatic eye makeup and be done with it. I was gonna dress up as the pale girl, the little pale girl from Terrifier 2 to match Aiden, but I didn't order the costume in time. And I was like, the costumes are so freaking expensive. His costume was $60. And granted, it does have a bunch of pieces in it, which makes it sort of worth it. But they just get more expensive every year. So I was like, I'm not going to bother. I woke up this morning with, like, massive fall allergies. My eyes were so itchy. My nose wouldn't stop running. I kept sneezing. And for now, it seems to have subsided, except for the eye thing. My eyes are still bothering me. So I'm hoping this isn't gonna all like tear up and wash off of me. But I'm using one of my favorites, the Ghost Town USA palette from Nomad, for my eyeshadow, because I just don't wear makeup often enough lately. I'm always home and not doing anything, so I don't bother putting makeup on unless I'm leaving the house. I have no mascara over here. I gotta go grab one. Oh. My favorite blushes ever are the Hourglass blushes, and this is so old. This incandescent, what is it called? Luminous Flush. Oh, it's just the ambient lighting blush palette. Those are the names of it. But like, I kind of just go into multiple colors when I use this. I've always liked these because they kind of like blur your pores for you without having to use any type of primer or anything. And they're very forgiving. Like, I'm going into this trying to be dramatic about it, and it's not very... They're such pretty natural looking colors. It ended up being so warm and humid last night when we were trick-or-treating. My hair was straight, you saw it yesterday, and then it turned out like this by the end of the night. It was all poofy, it's all curly and messy. I didn't bother washing it when I got home. I just hopped in the shower and washed myself and then left my hair the way that it is, but Eden had fun anyway. All the kids did. That was the most compliments that he's ever gotten on one of his Halloween costumes. Everyone knew who he was, even like children, so I don't feel as bad for putting him in like such a gruesome horror character costume. I thought it was funny that so many people knew who he was this time, because usually there's been years where I spent so much time making Halloween costumes and nobody knew who the hell he was supposed to be. The year that he was Pete the Cat, I had to make the costume. One person knew who he was, and the lady knew who he was because she was a school teacher, and Pete the Cat is big in school, in like the elementary schools, so she was the only lady who knew who he was that year. I think that was when he was like 7, maybe? I don't remember what year was what costume anymore. But the year that Wreck-It Ralph came out, it was either that year or the year after. It was nowhere near as popular as it became at the time that we were dressing up as the characters. I couldn't get Steven to be Ralph, but I made my costume and I was Vanellope. Like, everything down to, I had to make my own candy hairpins to stick in my hair, because you know how she has like mints and stuff all stuck in her ponytail or on her head. I made everything for that costume, and Aiden was Fix-It Felix, and I made everything for that except for like his little work boots, which I had to buy on eBay because I couldn't find little kid work boots anywhere. And nobody knew who we were that year either. I was so bummed because I was so proud of those costumes. And then of course, after we were that for Halloween, after we were those characters, they came out with like the full-on Vanellope von Schweetz cosplay stuff. I did buy the leggings. I think I still have them in my closet. So I have Vanellope leggings, but I sure wish I had those when I dressed up as her, because I literally had to get like seafoam green leggings and then another pair of white leggings, and like I cut the white ones up to make the stripes on the seafoam ones. It was such a pain in the butt. And then I had to make my own hoodie too, because she has like the teal hoodie that has the pink licorice details on it. So I had to make that too. So I was just bummed that year nobody knew who we were supposed to be, and I did so much work on those costumes. Anyway, I just did a bunch of work on my website this morning because I wanted to add my 4 new fall fragrances that I was promising that were gonna go up, because that's really all I'm adding for like Thanksgiving type. I like to at least put some new stuff up before Thanksgiving, So I think that's what I did last year, was I just did some more fall fragrances, 2 of which I had and hadn't used for anything yet. And then the other 2 were ones that I saw after I had already released all my Halloween fragrances and stuff. Here I am again, having not uploaded videos to my freaking channel again. I have like 2 weeks worth of just clips that I haven't edited yet. I've just, with Halloween last week and stuff, I've just been too busy, so I'm gonna try and get that done by the end of this week. Today's Tuesday already, so a bunch of crap going on. What else was I gonna say? I'm getting a headache, so that's not fun either, but I really don't have a ton to talk about. I just wanted to come on, and maybe I shouldn't even record anything yet because I haven't edited that other video. I don't know. I'm running out of room on my phone. I went through and took off so much stuff the other day just to put pictures onto my computer, so I got a whole bunch of stuff off of it, so I should have room now. But there's so much on my phone that it's gonna take forever to actually go through all that stuff. I used that curl gel last night. My hair's still kind of wet. The one that you have to put in like sopping wet hair, and it definitely like helped the frizz, because my hair has been so frizzy lately. So we're gonna see how it is when it's completely dry. So I'm not gonna say much about the election because I have many thoughts, and I'm staying away from Facebook right now. But I'm just gonna say that Steven and I both did a mail-in ballot weeks ago, and you can go on your state website to check your status of your ballot, and they both say that the status is not found. So did our votes just not fucking count? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna be even more pissed off than I already am. I'm pissed if my vote was not counted at all, because what the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I still haven't uploaded anything. I've got to do that this weekend. I just have so much stuff to do. I have been working this online job and enjoying that more than doing my makeup stuff and everything. So like I'm leaning towards this being my main thing and the makeup taking a seat on the back burner for now, because right now it's easier for me to do this and it's less costly, because nobody wants to buy from me lately unless I'm having a massive sale, and even then it doesn't do well, so I'm not making much profit, and it's pointless to continue with that the way that it was. If it's gonna keep being that way, it's not worth it to me anymore. So I'll keep my shop open and everything. I'm not saying I want to 100% close it down, because that would be so sad. I've built that thing up for the past 8 years. It's just that the way things are right now, nobody's buying, and they sure aren't buying as frequently or like as normally as it used to be. So I'm just gonna stick with this for now and keep doing stuff this way, I guess. But I do have Bath and Body stuff I have to make at some point, but I've been focusing so much time on this that, like I said, everything else is on the back burner right now. So I'm gonna try and finish everything up from the last sale that I had this weekend, so that I'm more like I can focus on this and not be worried that I have all that stuff to do. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully this weekend I will just edit the video and get it up right away, and it'll be a little longer than normal because I've got like multiple weeks put in it again. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and that's it for now. So I will talk to you guys later. First off, I didn't want to just turn this on because I don't know if you can even hear, because sometimes my phone doesn't pick up noises outside when I'm recording, but the neighbor next door is outside screaming at her husband, as per usual. I'm going to dye my roots tonight, at least. It needs to be done. I have Aiden's yearly IEP meeting, which is the big meeting with all the teachers that we have to do every year. I did it by myself last year. I'm going to have to do it by myself again because Steven doesn't want to miss a day of work for it. So, and I don't want him to miss out on another day of work either. So I'm just going to be a big girl and do it by myself again. Today, it is only 11 o'clock right now. He only had 2 classes today because they use Google Class for Teams now. They used to just use Zoom all the time, Zoom links and Zoom meetings, and the teachers have had so much problem, and teachers and kids alike have had so many problems with school this year because the Class for Teams thing is very glitchy, and his ELA teacher has been advocating for them to use, they have Class for Zoom, so because she's been the main one complaining about the Class for Teams thing, they've been letting her try out the Class for Zoom thing in her classes. So today the Class for Teams went down, but the Class for Zoom was still working, so he only had his morning homeroom class because his ELA teacher is his homeroom teacher, and then he had ELA class, and they had to cancel all the other classes for the day because the other teachers can't start their classes. So he had like some homework to do, and then now he's done for the day, which is pretty cool because I can get some stuff done. And then also his special needs teacher called me earlier because the mom of the boy that he's been making friends with in his social skills class wanted to know if she could exchange information with me to possibly have them meet up someday. They live over an hour away, like way up past Boston, but I think the halfway point, like if we were to meet up somewhere in between, would be around near where Steven used to work when we lived at the old house. So like I somewhat know that area. There's not really much to do there. I would have to try and figure out like where to meet up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that he's making a friend. It would help him because he doesn't necessarily have a bunch of in-person time with kids his age, you know? Like, he sees them on the computer and stuff and can talk to them there. But, like, other than my best friend's daughters, who one is a year older than him and one is a year younger than him, he doesn't really have kids his age to play with, so that's a good plus. I mean, there's not even any kids in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is full of old people. There's like no children, other than the daughter of the idiots next door that I would not let him play with their kids anyway, and I think the kid looks much younger anyway, so that just wouldn't work out. But yeah, we don't get trick-or-treaters around here at Halloween, which is kind of a bummer because our old town was so big on Halloween night. There was just so many like trick-or-treaters and kids and families everywhere, which is, I mean, it's like that where we go to trick-or-treat with my friend, so at least we still have that experience, but it just sucks. Around here is like how it was around my grandma's house when I was a kid, because she lives on such a busy street. Nobody would ever be trick-or-treating, so like I didn't trick-or-treat much as a kid. We would go around to a few houses of the neighbors that my parents knew, and I think I stopped trick-or-treating at probably freaking 8 or 9 years old. I didn't get a lot of trick-or-treating in when I was a kid, which is kind of sad because Halloween is my favorite holiday. But yeah, we just didn't live in a spot that was very good for trick-or-treating. So I'm gonna go get some work done. I'm gonna try to limit myself to doing the online job until like 3-ish, when Aiden would normally be done with school, so that I can get my orders and stuff done. But I also have to send out an email about I'm not doing like a holiday collection this year. It would have been out already, and I haven't had time to plan colors or anything, so I am gonna do some sort of Black Friday sale because I've had so many people asking, but I think I'm gonna have it the week before Black Friday, so I'm not competing with everybody else, and I'm gonna aim to only run it for one day because like I can't bog myself to. I feel like I have two jobs right now because I'm trying to get the rest of my orders done during the day at the same time I'm trying to do the work on the AI stuff. So it's just like I don't want to be stressing myself out. Like just doing the computer stuff is going to cause me less stress because I'm not on a time crunch of trying to get orders out to people at a certain time. So I feel like once I'm done with this last sale that I had and caught up, which I'm behind on now because I've been focusing more attention on this, I'll be a little relieved because I'll be more caught up. So we will see. I don't know. I'm gonna go and probably get lunch now, seeing as how Aiden doesn't have any more classes. But I will end this for today since it's Friday and hopefully get this up so you're seeing it. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next week.